multiplayer 7 Days to Die with Silverblade.
Damn it, son of a... Ouch.
You must remember to,
88 miles per hour!
Don't you feel foolish?
Greetings, minions, engineers, and fellow gamers. This is Silverblade playing Space Engineers Beta, and this is episode 10. And you may notice things are looking a bit odd in here. Maybe even a little claustrophobic, maybe? Well, the reason for that is because I'm going to take this episode off to basically do you a tour of what I have been working on in my off-camera game, so you get an idea of kind of what I'm going for in my series. So we'll get the old jets going here. There we go. Alright, so let me get some light on the subject. Now this is a ship that I'm working on. It's essentially going to be a spacefaring miner, and as you can see, there is a lot of batteries there. Just make sure I have enough power. I have 3 reactors, large ones. I have 2 hydrogen tanks and a buttload. That's an actual measurement, I guess, of oxygen generators. At the moment, I have these oxygen farms. Whoop, I'm freezing up. Oh, freezing up there. Okay, now we're back. All right, so I got these oxygen farms basically to top off my oxygen tanks while the ship is being constructed. But I have 2 refineries, 1 on each side. I have 2, and it's got the maximum of modules for yield. I also have 2 assemblers in there somewhere, and I haven't put any modules on those because it's just basically to refine down anything that I find in space, and if I need emergency parts, that's what that's for. I have yet to get thrusters in. Oh, getting a little bit off track here. So there'll be some back here, some aiming up, down, back, forward, etc. So there's all of that. Now up here I have kind of like a bio center. So I have a place to recharge, top off my tanks. That's what this oxygen generator is primarily for, is for filling up my bottles. Then I have the cryopods for, life support, recharge, etc. Then I have, as you can see, I got a vent there and a vent there, and of course they're not working right now because we're in open space here on Mars. But I have this airlock system set up, so when these doors are closed, this here will decompress the chamber. When I'm in this section, there will be walls around it, of course. These will be filling this area with oxygen, and so when I come in here, it'll decompress it, suck all the oxygen out. Then I can come in here, and this area can be decompressed. It can also be compressed. I haven't really decided how I'm going to do that yet. It all depends on skinning out the ship to make sure that it's airtight or not. But as you can see, I got conveyors up the yin-yang. I got a container for ice. My oxygen tanks are almost full. Hydrogen tanks should be nearly full. I can't see from this side, but I got a bridge up over here so I can cross over to the back in case I have to do repairs. And let's see, I think the lights for the hydrogen are, yeah, so this hydrogen tank is full, this one is not, and it just circles around. I have yet to put in a bridge on this ship yet because it's still a work in progress. I want to put in, whoa, okay, let the guns play their music. Alright, so they're chewed up pretty good. So, where was I? But yeah, I still have to skin the ship out and get it built. I will have a bridge up this way, but again, this is a work in progress, and I hope to have this as a blueprint when I get it proofed and ready. I'll put it on the Steam Workshop so that you guys can give it a try. Up here, before we get into the base, that is, up here is my vertical miner, Mark II. It's kind of a work in progress, but let's see, it's on, lights are on. We'll undock it and take it for a spin, and you see there's some rock on it, because I haven't quite got the ejectors on this thing set quite right. But anyways, we'll come down in here. Alright, get the camera set up just right. Back her up. Now I have, on this particular model of the vertical miner, I have horizontal drills, so that when you're making these pilot holes deep down in the ground, it'll widen it out enough so the whole thing can fit, and you can kind of wiggle around a little bit. So we'll turn it on. We'll come down into drill. See, just choose it right up real quick. And the beauty of this design is when you have a whole layer like this put out, you can just kind of slowly shift to the side, and you can do sideways mining. Now, I wish the cameras would stop shifting like that, but it's the price I pay for this design, I guess. But as you can see, I'm chewing away sideways. I can go backwards, forwards, whatever. So you get the idea with that. So now let's level it out, redock it. So it just backs into the docking port, and because it's got a little weight on it, it's going to be a little sluggish. So let's see if I can line this up and not crash it. Also, I got the Taladin's inventory manager on a timing block and programming block on the vertical miner with this display, so I can see how full it is. So right now I have just one short of 1K of ice, which is for my oxygen generator, and then 130K that we just mined of iron. So I know right off the bat how much I have in the hold on this. So now we just come into dock. Let's rotate it a little bit. Okay, so we're clear of the drill bits. Are we level? Go up a little, come back. Docking ring turns yellow. Hit 8 to lock it. Now we can turn off the ship. And we're good to go. So yeah, I have to perfect this particular model of it, but the one that I'll be using in my regular series will have just the downward, these 25 drills here. So I'll show how that works out in the series regularly. It works out pretty good. This one here, I decided to upgrade it, and it needs a little tweaking. But as you see, I have all the thruster work is up above, so it's not... Ooh, it took some damage apparently. That's no good. But yeah, all the thruster work is above the body of the ship, primarily because it makes it easier to navigate, and when you're going up and down holes, like as you can see, it makes nice square holes. I usually just come up like this and then just drill straight down. And so there's that. And of course you're familiar with the atmospheric lander. Now this here is my welding ship. I have it connected here in the nose, which really I should have mounted it back here somehow with this cargo container. But I have Tim set up so I'll constantly load it up with this amount of goods. Actually, I want to come in here and copy this for my regular play. Whoops. The wrong thingamajigger. And yes, that's the technical term. Okay, Control C, so there's that. But yeah, it'll constantly keep this cargo container filled with these quantities of regularly used material. And so basically when I get in the ship and I want to build something, let's try something out here. I'll show you, for those of you guys that are unfamiliar, well, let's see, take out 100. We'll do this just for demonstration's sake. Alright, that should be good. So we'll load up the cargo hold with what's left in my hand inventory here. And we'll get in the cockpit. Alright, so batteries switch to on, reactors on, thrusters on, 8 to undock. And this thing whips. I mean, it whips. Is that sharp turning and nimble, which is almost too sharp turning and nimble. Go into cockpit view, and as you can see on the extreme right there, and the left is the welding tools. So you got to be careful of those when they turn red, like it is right now. They're welding. When you turn them off, the red is gone. You do not want to walk in front of these things or jump out of your cockpit in front of these things when those tips are red, as I've found out repeatedly. So come up close here, and all it takes is steel plate and metal grids, which is no big deal. We got that stuff in the cargo hold in the back. So come up close, and so you can build large sections of ships and stuff like that. Whoop, freezing up. Large sections of ship and whatnot, and do repairs. It doesn't have good range apparently, but yeah, you could build a whole ship with this thing without having to fill up your inventory, your meager inventory, every couple steps. So we come in here. Now you can also replace the welding arms on this with grinders, so you can take parts off of things. And it'll take all the components that it grinds and puts in the cargo hold, so you can retain them, which is nice. I'll line up with docking collar. There we go. Hit 8 to lock it, so it's green. Batteries are switched off. Reactors off. Thrusters off. Making sure that the welding tools are off, which, you know, I had them set on trigger. And then we'll get out. So there's that part. Now as you see, I got my here's the docking port for up here, docking port for down there. I got an antenna set up, and then I have this set up. Now you're probably wondering, what the hell is a dragonfly? Well, let me show you. Come in here, go to dragonfly, go to remote control, go to control. So now as you see, the hot bar at the bottom now has a bunch of different functions on it. So this is kind of solar and battery operated. It doesn't have a reactor. It shouldn't have a reactor on it. I think I took it off. I put one on it initially to charge the batteries. So we'll turn the battery. Oh, let's see. We go thrusters. We'll unlock the legs. So let's see. And now I can control this remotely from here, or I can switch to camera view. Hello. And there I am inside the little cabin. I can also look straight down. This has a ore detector on it, so I can go scouting like areas like this. Of course, it's not so good at night because it's hard to see how high you are, and you don't have an altimeter on this thing. But you can go out here and scout for ores. and it's pretty fast. The only downside to it is it's got a limited range. You can only go out about 5 kilometers or so. And it's freezing up. Okay, keep going, computer. Don't die on me now, computer. Alright, so we'll come in for a landing here. Hopefully safe. Alright, so I hit... Get up here and line up. Hit F. Now I can watch it from here. Oh, I gotta take control over it again. Dang it. Alright, so remote control. Control. And now I just pilot it from this booth here. Bring it in a little closer. Alright, I did leave the reactor on it, but I don't think there's much fuel in it. Whoop. Little rough landing. And then we'll lock the feet. And that's that. We'll turn on, let's see, switch the batteries to charge. And there we go. So that's just a little thing I made for scouting for ores. A little bit complicated in terms of making sure it was able to get off the ground, but yeah, it's a neat little thing. So there's that, and now to the piece de resistance, or the pizza of resistance. So as you see, I have a cargo container here, so I can actually pull stuff in and out as I may need it if I'm building out on this platform area here. But the main thing is this section, the airlock. So right now it is void of oxygen, and it's supposed to stay that way. And you see that yellow light means that it's not airtight. Blue means that there's no oxygen in here, because it's decompressing the room. It's sucking the oxygen out. But when I open this door, I get blown backwards, and you see the snow kind of effect, and you see that these bars turn blue. Well, now it's an oxygenated little corridor here, and it's trying to pull the oxygen out and put it back in the oxygen tank. So if I come in here, well, actually, if I shut these doors, it takes just a second for it to suck all the air out, and now it's a void. So there's no waste of air, and it always blows you back. But and it re-pressurizes this room after some of the pressure's lost inside there. Alright, so with that done, let me top off my O2. So this oxygen generator is specifically for... Let me take my helmet off, actually. Alright, so this oxygen generator is specifically for filling up my bottles. Of course, I have a med bay here for charging me back up. Cargo container, so if I'm standing here, I can pull some parts out if I need it. And these displays, I'm sure you remember them from my regular series play, that you know, ore, ingots, components, and then this is the debug screen. So if there's any problems, like something's jammed or something like that in my production bay here, I can kind of do something about it, be notified of it. Now, one thing I have going on here is I have a plethora of ore containers, or of containers. I have, what was it, 12 for ore and 12 for ingots, even though there's actually duplicates for like stuff like ice and stone. So, you know, there is that. And they're fed, of course, into my refineries, which have the yield modules on it for making the most out of very little. And then I have the speed modules attached to a whole bunch of assemblers. Back here I have my oxygen generation system, a bunch of oxygen generators, a bunch of oxygen tanks, which is actually more tanks than I'll probably ever need or use. Hydrogen tanks, as you can see, they're maxed out on hydrogen, and this is for refueling ships that run on hydrogen, like the one that I'm currently building out there. And then in here I have, this is for component storage. Okay, and then that's connected here to a large reactor. And that's for right now anyway. That's that for this build. I do want to build a control center in here, you know, a little pilot seat, and then those displays from down there have that surrounding it so I can sit down, charge my suit up, oxygen, hydrogen, all that, and then look at my production stats and be like, okay, maybe I need more of this, maybe I need more of that. You know, just a chance to sit down, strategize a little bit. So, get down here, charge up a little bit. And I think that's pretty much everything to this base. I haven't really done much work on it since I've started my my video series for this season of Space Engineers. One thing I do want to point out is you can see right there, you know, kind of a squarish looking hole. That's because of my vertical miner. You can also see out there where it's kind of like a bunch of, like a grid of pock marks around that crater and around there, and that's so that it gets rid of the lip. As you can see, like right there, there's a bit of a lip on that crater hole, and that just polishes it off. So I can look right now and just go, okay, I have been to that crater. That has been mined, so I don't have to worry about it no more. That one has not been cleaned, so I'll have to go back and either revisit it or visit it with my vertical miner, pull out what's in there, and it all will be good for that. So that's pretty much everything. Oh, I'm gonna have to put my helmet back on, and then seal the airlock. Wait for the lights to turn to 1. All right, so now we're in a vacuum. We're good. Shut that. And yeah, I added some angles to the roof. Nothing super fancy, but you know, makes it look better than just a block. Don't think I've done too much to the lander, except of course take out that one block there. Well, we're gonna have some fun. Now I got 4 turrets up here. 4 is always better than 1. So let's watch the sunrise as the turrets chew up those. Now lets a few through, but I have the range set to 800, so it tries to get them from far away. So if there's a large cluster of them and they're heading right straight for the base, it'll eliminate them before they can actually do any damage. And you know, get them at a far enough range so that there's any that get through and get close, those will be targeted before they can destroy anything. Now, unfortunately, that means less craters get made out here, but I'm at a point in the game now where I'm not too worried about it. And if you can see my GPS coordinates set up, I've got pretty much coordinates for every type of material. Now, I had played on this map on a separate game. Well, it's the same map every time, I believe, but I started off a game, landed, and I liked this position so much that I made 2 saves and split them up, because I made a base up on that mountain up there. But the base that I made, I was testing some ideas I had, and it ended up being very deleterious to the health of my machine, my computer. It was slowing things down to about 5 frames a second, and I'm like, okay, I like this location, but I gotta start over, because I went a little bit crazy with an idea, and it worked out okay. I'll have to show a small, scaled down, smarter version of it in my regular series play. But I wanted to show you guys some of the ideas that I come up with, some of the things I'm working on or plan to incorporate into my regular series. You see my oxygen farms are now producing some O2 to fill my O2 tanks, which I think in this ship is already full. Okay, but anyways, yeah, some of the concepts that I'm working on here will get carried over. Ships that I'm making are getting improved upon. And eventually, when I believe that they are worth sharing with everybody, that the bugs are worked out of them and the like, I'll put them all up on the Steam Workshop, so you guys that are playing can also get a copy of it, make your own, and you can even do your own modifications, and possibly even make a video and show me what you can do to make my idea or my build better. And I can, if possible, I can share that with others so that other people can enjoy this game more by just the sharing of ideas. Because that's one of the things I really love about this game, as well as several others, is the ability to share good build ideas and make everybody else have a lot more fun with the game or games, because it's not just this game that's a philosophical statement about. So anyways, guys, I know this episode is just a tad shorter than usual, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys are inspired by it, and I'd love to hear your commentary about what you think of my build, what you think from what you've seen could be better. If you have any questions, do not be afraid to leave a comment, because I do answer all my comments, provided that they're polite and or constructive. You don't have to be kissing my butt, but that helps. But if you do have some critique of my stuff, that's more than fine. I can take it. Just keep it polite and somewhat respectful. This is not just for me, this is for other people, and I just want to see people have fun and have a good, pleasant atmosphere in the community about it. So with that, I say thank you guys so much for watching. Do check out the links in the description box below. Let the people in those links know that I sent you. And until next time, see you later. Twitch.